O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show. This
There's just one place to celebrate our happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Plus last chance savings on a 2024 RDX. $379 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Oh, great. You got a doorbell camera. Now you got a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
No.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Get out of my house!
Oh, Mom's jewelry. There goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, a free doorbell camera.
Free?
One that'll actually work for you. It's not total security unless it's the Sloman Shield. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
The lost city of Atlantis reveals its secrets at Toyota of Hollywood. Get legendary deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a 2024 Corolla. Not $24,000, $20,988. Unlock the wonders of 0% financing for 5 full years, 0 down. Rediscover Atlantis at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The game is final. Tua and the boys are in the locker room. Let's go over what happened in this game in our Dolphins post-game show with Big O. The post-game show is brought to you by Welton Rayom, Acura of Pembroke Pines, Hialeah Park Casino, Toyota of Hollywood, RM Contractors. The stats are final. The insiders are ready. The platform is mastered by the one and only Sean Stanley. Now, let's find out what the Big O thinks about this matchup as we start our Dolphins post-game show. Here's Big O.
Man, talk about an embarrassing, a pathetic performance. Mike McDaniel basically is Cam Cameron Part 2 is what we're watching. We're watching a dunce on the sidelines that has no idea what he's doing. His team is constantly unprepared. I mean, how many penalties today? 467? I mean, it's ridiculous. Really, Mike McDaniel is an embarrassment. And that's bottom line. And I know this is a house of cards that affects everybody, front office and all that. I'm not excusing anybody here, okay? I understand that this looks bad on everything and everyone in the organization, top to bottom, and there's no way of hiding it. We can't make any excuses for it because it is what it is. Now, I will tell you that what I'm watching on the sidelines is pathetic. Okay? Mike McDaniel has no business being a head coach in the NFL. None whatsoever. So the cute little jokes and the GQ dressing and all that stupid shit that he's, part of his image, there's no substance. There's no substance. Tua succeeds in spite of McDaniel. It has nothing to do with McDaniel. He'll drop a couple of plays, but it's Tua. Tua wins because in spite of flow, so Tua's problem, we all know what it is. His injury history and the fact that he does not want to take care of himself, that puts you that's a whole other conversation that's not what we're talking about now. Okay? But what we are talking about is incompetence. And what we are talking about is a coach that does not get it whatsoever. His team is soft. He's soft. His team doesn't respond. He doesn't respond to anything. And he can't prepare anybody. See, Skyler is not as good as Tua. So he can't overcome incompetence on the sidelines. Tua can overcome some of it, not all of it, of course, because nobody's, that would take like the ultimate quarterback in the history of time. This is disgusting, dude. Your offensive line doesn't benefit. Your offense doesn't benefit. Your receivers don't benefit. The running game doesn't benefit. Dude, the defense hung in there forever and kept them at 17 points. But you can't produce any offense. I mean, this is pathetic, dude. We got all enamored with the jokes and all that and everything. And, some cool play designs. That's it. We'll admit it. But when it came to the meat of the matter, using those plays, figuring out his players, what's happening on the field at the same time, and being able to mesh all of this together, he does not have that skill set. He's not a leader. He is a do-boy. He is an assistant coach, is what he's not even a coordinator, bro. He's an assistant coach. He's the guy that gives you ideas, and then the general says, good idea, bad idea, good idea, bad idea, good idea. I'll use this, I'll use that, not using this. And so when McDaniel comes at you, hey, I got this. Okay, good, I'll use that. No, I'm not going to use that now. Maybe I'll use it later. No, that's not good enough. And this is the guy that is putting Durham Smythe in a play in the end zone. Durham Smythe, dude. We count on this team on Durham Smythe, Robbie Chosen, and pot stickers here. Oh yeah, I'm a little hungry. If you follow me on Twitter, I told you on Twitter. Ooh, can you get some sticks for me, bro? Because I can't eat this without sticks. Por favor, or a fork or anything. I don't care. I doubt it. Anyway, they had hot dogs at halftime. I haven't eaten anything all day. Now I'm used to fasting, so it's not a big deal. But it is like 5 o'clock, and I've been up since like 6:30. So I haven't eaten a damn thing since dinner. What was dinner? Dinner was like 8 o'clock. So I haven't eaten almost 24 hours. I'm 3 hours away from 24 from not eating. So forgive me if I have some pot stickers, okay? Because I ordered some pot stickers. I needed something that I can munch on really quickly, and kind of get away with it. By the way, I'm also cheating, but I don't care. They have Pepsi here. I want a Coke. I haven't done anything all day, bro. I can cheat. It's you gotta kind of balance it. See, I'm still wearing an extra large. It's nice and big on me. Good, man. I'm good. You can treat yourself, okay? You can cheat a little bit. Anyway, so just a bad situation. And remember I told you that winning was so important and losing also was so important because it's going to affect your psyche. You come out of this game, what makes you feel that Mike McDaniel can prepare anybody for a game? And it shows you that Tua saved his ass. So it shows you. He can't coach anybody up. Skylar Thompson, oh, by the way, he is Tannehill Thompson now because he takes sacks exactly like Ryan. Tannehill Thompson. Poor kid. I mean, he got injured and then he came back. Tough kid. But he is Tannehill Thompson. There's no pocket presence. We drafted another quarterback with no pocket presence whatsoever. That guy couldn't feel a rush if it was Geddy Lee. Okay? I mean, nothing. He can't feel a damn thing. Wow. That Skylar looked as incompetent. And by the way, Mike McDaniel in that play where he bobbles it and then he fumbles and then they still recover it. What happened? What started that whole play? McDaniel can't get the goddamn play in on time. It's freaking amazing. It's freaking amazing. Sean, do me a favor. Give me 30 seconds so I can down 2 poppers. 30 seconds, 2 poppers. Back with more.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
I did too. I couldn't do the hot dogs. This son of a bitch ate 2 of them. Marcel Louis Jacques had 3 hot dogs. And then I saw Joe Shad eat 1. Didn't notice Omar. But Marcel did catch my eye. My man took down 3 dogs. Now, wait a minute. You know what? I'm thinking he might not have had one of the 3 because there was somebody else there that he could have been taking the dog to. So, but at least he had 2 because definitely the other person's not having 2. If anything, I don't even think the other one's going to have 1 because, like, smart people really don't eat hot dogs. Stupid people eat hot dogs.
Let me tell you something. Those dogs were good.
I hope so.
They were good. They were barking. They were good, baby.
I hope they're good. I hope they're good.
Kit Kat for dessert and some red straws. I'm perfect.
By the way, Lumen's field is nice.
Oh, beautiful.
It is a beautiful field. I love the way it's designed. It's really, really cool. I got to say, it's a really, really nice stadium, man. I got to say, it just sucks that our team is ass. Absolute ass, dude. Do we have any super chats? Remember, you can support the show, send in your comments, your questions, your insults, rip whoever you want, me, the team, whatever. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. We always tell you that first because we get 100% of the donation there. And you can send a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, or you can go on Cash App. I mean, on Super Chat here on YouTube also, and we appreciate it immensely. Yes, sir.
I want to preface this one by saying,
okay,
it was sent at 7:36. We went live at 7:44.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay. Here we go. What do we have? Oh, that's right. This thing is kind of like delayed. So my live one gets delayed a little bit when you change. So, wow. Okay. True Fin fan. Skylar pocket presence is Tannehill too. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Well, there's a reason why True Fin fan and I like get along so well. So it's kind of, we're wired the same. It's the same thing with Ocala Joe, another one that like he and I agree on a lot of shit. So yeah, you saw Tannehill. I mean, the guy he has no pocket presence. You are on. Peter J. Fin fan, now you're getting it. No more excuses for anyone in the org. Peter, we can't, unfortunately, right now. There's nobody is safe now. As much as I love the front office. Love the front office. Saw Marvin Allen today in the press room, and said hi to him. But love the front office, and I know I get it, dude. I get it. Man of 1,005 holds. Why is our team so injury prone? QBs are too brittle. Also, the O-line still hasn't been fixed. McDaniel sucks. An OC dressed as a head coach. He's not even an OC, bro. I would never want that guy as my OC. Never. Not in a million years would I want that guy as my OC. Okay? Mike, I'm done. I gave up on McDaniel last week, but all he does is continue to prove to me that he is incredibly incompetent. Just incompetent, dude. And the penalties. Oh, my God. I'm a Shula guy. Anyway, Peter J. Fin fan, coach can't even call a timeout without messing up. It can't get a play in on time. It's just, and then you put the wrong people in positions, and people are resting too much, offense and defense. I'm sick and tired of that, dude. What are you paying these people all this money for? For half-ass effort? Johnny Pope, thank you, sir, for the love in the super chat. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Cam Cameron type of year said it last week. Yeah, it's what it looks like because the guy is incompetent, bro. He's a fool. He looks like a clown on the sidelines. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. It's shameful to watch Mike McDaniel right now. Really is, dude. Sean H. Big O, 10 days of prep and the team looked like that. McDaniel's not a head coach material. Sad to say. Sean, all of us were thinking the same thing. You had 10 days. You couldn't design a game plan for your quarterback. And let me tell you something. After all this assessment for over 2 years, the amount of smoke you blew up my ass and your ass and everybody's ass for the last couple of weeks and everything, and talking about Skylar this and Skylar that, and I never saw it. And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? And now you put him in this position, and he looked, poor kid got injured, and I don't want to pick on the injury or anything. He can't play, bro. I told you this month would either prove you're either starter material, you're backup material, or you don't belong in the league. And guess what showed up? The latter. You don't belong in the league, dude. Okay? You don't belong in the league. Period. Door number 1, starter? No. Door number 2, backup? No. Door number 3. You don't belong in the league. There's no reason, listen to me, to waste another minute with Skylar Thompson. Let's be honest now. There's no now you have to do it because you have to survive for 3 more weeks, and if the kid can come back and whatever. And Tim Boyle made a pass sidearm that Skylar would never make anyways. So, and Tim Boyle sucks. I don't know. Now you'll have that, and you'll have the Wildcat kid come in next week. Because please don't think that Huntley could actually run an offense. Leon Fresco, it's now officially child abuse to make your kid a Dolphins fan. Every person in the organization needs to be replaced. I'm not going to argue with people now at this point. I love the front office, but right now there's no defending anything. There's no defending anything, and I can't sit here and defend it. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and thank you because we get 100% of the donations on Cash App or Venmo. We go to Anthony Lizzie. Not prepared, awful game plan. No discipline, can't stick to run, can't get plays in on time, dreadful execution, sad. 100% right. Joe Delgadillo, bring Fitzpatrick back for 1 year. God, this is disgusting. You're not getting anything with him. But thank you, Joe. Appreciate you. Steve M. Hateful Steve is in the house. I'm at a loss for words, hero. It's no secret I didn't ever support drafting or paying Tua, but there are problems with this team that are way deeper than Tua. Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. Tua's problems are Tua's problems, Steve. Tua, he proved last year. Bro, play the game smart, get rid of the ball, you'll live forever. Now, you want to go being stupid, that's your problem now. Now you've created another problem, right? But the offense and all that, it's not Tua, it's this guy. So you're right. I agree with you on that. And I know you're not a Tua fan, but at least you're objective enough to see you can't win with a bad coach. Even if you're a good Steve, I think you're old enough, dude. Steve Young, Tampa, Kurt Warner, the Giants, sometimes when you're in a bad, what's it called? Baker Mayfield, Cleveland. When you're in a bad environment, it doesn't help. Robert B., thank you for the love on Venmo. Game went about the way I thought it would. No Tua, no wins. Talk me off the ledge here. The Rams, 49ers, Dolphins, same finesse system, similar preseason philosophies are all dealing with significant injuries early on. Coincidence? Robert in Denver. Maybe. But I never you never viewed San Fran as soft? Not on offense. Like, they could run and punch you in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, it is interesting. If you don't hit, you don't get in shape to hit. Peter German. Thank you for the love on Venmo, sir. This team is a clown show. This coaching staff and personnel have proven that they are an inept, crappy backup QB, formation penalties on special teams, 8 runs in the first half, F-. Anybody going to argue with Peter? No. Why? He's telling you the 100% truth. Anthony Lizzie. Thank you once again. Appreciate you guys there on Venmo. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Armando Swaim on Venmo. Considering McDaniel's soft coaching demeanor towards the players, do you see him losing the locker room? Yes. Oh, yeah. He'll be losing it soon. Of course he'll be losing it soon. You can't win. So, yeah, he'll be losing it soon. He's going to lose us already. He lost me already. Like, he lost me last week officially. He was already on double secret probation going into this season because you guys know I ripped the hell out of him last year. He's done with me. He's done. So, and most of you are going to fall off the McDaniel bandwagon over the next couple of weeks. And you'll see the stuff that I've been watching since last year. You've been seeing it. You just didn't want to, because we don't want to make any changes. We'd like for stability for once. Anthony Lizzie, again on Venmo, you're a stud. Thank you, sir. Also, an unacceptable backup situation considering injury concerns with Tua. Greer should have made a better effort there. Greer, and the head coach, because the head coach is the guy that stands behind Skyler, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, anyway, Shane Pupo, thank you for the love on Venmo, sir. You guys worry me about the O-line more than we do. Chris Greer's voice being absolutely exposed with incompetence at its finest. Appreciate you, Big O. Shane, man, I'd love to say that, you know, they were right and we're wrong and our concerns, but those concerns were obvious and it's been a problem, dude. You know? Cash App, thank you, sir. Let's see who's up. Ocala Joe. Thank you, my man. I appreciate you for the... Wait a minute. Ocala Joe, that's like... you're amazing, bro. That might be a record on this show. Okay? All right. Thank you, sir. That is, you're amazing. Ocala Joe, yeah. We will hook up soon at Burns, my friend. Okay? Carlos Javier Reyes. For what are the chances they fire McDaniel this year? See, the problem... And you sent a personalized note. Thank you. That's pretty cool. I've never seen that. Thank you, man. I've never seen that on Cash App, a personalized note. That's very nice. Very nice of you, sir. Ocala Joe, you got me floored, bro. The carajo. Anyway, you look. The problem that I see here is, again, I'm a Greer, McKenzie, and Allen fan. You all know that. I love those guys. I think they could be a heck of a combination. I like this roster, actually. I still think that if you had real coaching, you'd get more out of this roster than this guy does. There's no doubt in my mind on that. But I understand. Right now, it doesn't look like that. And the Tua injury, that's what's going to save their ass. Tua has to come back in 3 more weeks, and 4 weeks from now, come back and like kick ass so people can forget about it. Because that's the only way. Let's be honest. This is the one. This is the only show you're going to hear this from. It's the only way everybody saves their jobs. If Tua comes back and just kicks ass from there on out and plays the way he's supposed to, and everybody gets inspired and plays around them and yada, 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 and all that stuff. That's the only way it happens. Because if it doesn't go the other way, okay, as much as I love those guys, let's be honest now. Do you think the owner's going to give any general manager a chance to hire 3 coaches? No. So if there's a blow up, it's going to blow everything up. So yeah, you're right. Now, do I want everything blown up? No, dude. God, this is going to set us back so much. Although I don't really think this team is that bad. I think if you make a couple changes on the O-line in the middle of it, add some beef there, and maybe you could be really competitive, overall. You're going to have to draft somebody next year. That's for sure. No matter what, if you keep Tua, if he wants to come back or whatever, you're still going to have to draft somebody because you do not have any competent backups. And it's hard to just find them off the street. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's go with the super chats here, Sean. Pull up the first one, or the next one, that is. And again, I apologize eating a little bit, but I haven't eaten anything since last night. So I'm a little hungry, and I got to eat something, dude. You know what I'm saying? I've done really good in being able to go hours and hours without eating, and that's allowed me to lose my weight. But I have to get some nourishment, so I apologize being rude a little bit and snacking on my food here. Easy Eddie, thank you for the love on the super chat, sir. DiMelo, I'm with you all the way with McDaniel's shortcomings. At what point does Greer take some of his blame? O-line, backup QB, OBJ contract, and on and on. Bro, everybody's gonna get hung here, dude. Everybody's gonna get skewered here. Everybody's gonna get ripped. And if this continues, of course, everybody's gonna get fired. Yeah, it's hard to survive. I get it. It's the obvious, unfortunately. I don't want to see this, dude. I would love for Tua to come back and just shock the world for the rest of the way. It would be nice. It's very unrealistic because we can't trust Tua anymore. We can trust him as a human being. We can trust him as a father. We can trust him as a husband. But we can't trust him as a football player. We can't trust him to take care of himself, dude. A-Rod, thank you for the love, baby. On the super chat, peace. How's that McD extension looking ill? I know, right? Right? A-Rod, like, why would you do that? He hasn't done anything. Why did you extend him? Next up, Sean. You good? Oh, it's a delay. Tua time. Thank you, sir. What was the body language of our players on the sideline? Also, is Sean now 100% done with McDaniel? Ooh, that's a question.
I am McDone with McDaniel.
There you go.
That's my new hashtag.
For him to get off.
Hashtag McDone McDaniel.
For him to get off your bandwagon.
POS at coaching.
It's bad when he gets off your bandwagon. It's bad. It's really, really bad. So, yeah. So you got your answer to it, time. I mean, I don't know who at this point, who likes anything that McDaniel's doing? Makes no sense.
Also, Furones, I guess he said Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel said he was trying to put the Seahawks in a position to defend at the end of the first half when he didn't throw a Hail Mary, alluding to it working versus the Chargers last year. Problem was Tua was quarterbacking last year against the Chargers, not Skylar Thompson.
Slight difference. Slight difference there.
And if anybody watched the first half, I would have rather thrown the Hail Mary because Woods said, hey, let's Skylar
and the field goal.
Walk down the back.
And the field goal, bro. Just run the ball. Run the ball.
McDummy.
Even Super V says he's done. Thank you, Tua Time. I appreciate you with the super chat, my man. Thank you all out there for supporting the hell out of our program. It allows us to travel. Can you imagine? We got 3 more of these trips. I mean, thank God I've had a phenomenal, I can't speak for Sean yet. I think he's had a good time, but I've had a phenomenal time except for these few hours. And I kind of prepared myself. Like one of the fans 2 nights ago goes, hey, oh, man, why didn't you come earlier, man, to hang out with everybody? I go, bro, I had a concert to go to. And I go, I got one life. And if I get to go see Crowded House, I love hanging out and talking Dolphins and all that, but I get to talk Dolphins every day, and I've been talking about a lot of bad Dolphins, unfortunately. And I know that I was going to do it today, and it was like, I met a lot of people yesterday, but I wasn't going to stick around for hours because, man, I got to enjoy myself while I'm here a little bit, and music is my other passion. And I saw 2 amazing concerts this weekend. Plus, I got to see beautiful Seattle. I love Seattle. I am not the guy that's going to hate on Seattle ever. Sorry. I would come here anytime. I can't wait to bring my wife here, actually. And next time I come here, I'm going to stay here for a week and a half or something so I can go to Vancouver and Portland and all kinds of stuff from here. And extend my stay, but visit other places. Because this part of the country is just absolutely gorgeous. So I will definitely go for it. All right, Ramon. Time to tank for Cam. Listen, I talked about it a couple weeks ago. That's the best thing this franchise would do. But tanking would wipe everybody out, and they're not going to do that. Everybody has to try to save their jobs. So they're all hanging in there, and they're going to try to keep the ship afloat till Tua gets there. Something tells me you'll be 1-5 by the time Tua gets there because I don't know how you win a game. We don't see a coach on the field that can overcome adversity. This isn't Shula. This isn't Larinaga. This isn't Spo. This isn't some of the great coaches that could have less and win. He's not that guy. Peter Finfan. Special teams for illegal formation penalty. I know, man. It's brutal, bro. It's brutal. And Hill, had 2 penalties? Bill today? 2 penalties? I mean, it's just, and he has talent. Julian Hill has talent, but come on, buddy. Let's go, bro. Use your head. He ruined that nice long run. Thank you, Peter. I appreciate you. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Joe Delgadillo again. Thank you, sir. What about Flacco? Is he still out there in free agency? Yeah, he is, but they're not going to do that. They're going to keep the ship afloat for Tua. Flacco's not going to come here for a couple of games or sit. If he's coming, it's to play. If he's going to leave his 11 kids, it's because he's coming to play. Carlos Yanes, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. It's embarrassing watching this team. Our coach is so bad. Time to spend Sunday afternoons with the family. What am I going to tell that man? Not to do that? That's actually the best thing that he does? Yeah, that's the best thing that you do. You know? That is definitely the best thing that you do, my brother. No doubt about that. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Abel, thank you for the love on Cash App. For I am claimed the first dibs on the Mike Vrabel train. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You are on. You're the conductor of the Mike Vrabel train. Abel Rodriguez, conductor of the Mike Vrabel train. I love it. I love it. And very true. Very true, my man. Let me see. What else do we have? Johnny Pope, the fullback dive on 3rd and 4th. Short, yes, is laughable. Nothing that man does makes any sense whatsoever. Next is who else is it? Let me see. Okay, there it is. I want to see if I have it here yet. Okay, no. AZ, thank you for the love in the super chat. I would rather watch Big O eat a roast beef sandwich on the crapper than that game. Wow, that's an ugly sight. Ooh. This is ugly enough, but on the crapper, wow.
It probably looked like the 3rd and 4th down in short plays.
Well, that's true. That is true. That is true. I would resemble that. I resemble that comment. Yes. Yes. Thank you, AZ. Appreciate you, my brother. We appreciate the love, and thank you, sir. AD Dances also says, worst team ever to find a QB in 25 years. Awful. Yeah, it's been bad for us, man. It's been real, real bad. Yeah. What's next? Let's see. Oh, is it JC? Canadian Big O fan, Purdy and Stafford put on a QB sliding and passing show. Yeah. Did you see the 1-run Boyle made? He took the 8 yards and slid. I would like record that, and when Tua's coming back, I go, hey, Tua, I got something for you. And then I'd send it to him in a text in the morning. Then I'd send it to him in the afternoon. Then I'd plant it in his car. Then I'd put it in his TV at home. Every time he turned something on, I'd show him that play. Slide, dude. Slide. Beer Noob, thank you for the love in the super chat. He says, we were exposed as a bad team with or without Tua. #tank. They won't tank. They won't tank because they all will lose their jobs. So they're gonna fight and wait. Yes.
Tyreek Hill has sent out a tweet.
Oh my God.
5 minutes ago.
Oh wow. Did he get caught speeding again?
Just a little adversity.
Yeah, just a little. Of course. Just a tad, please. Yes. That's all. Just a little bit. That's all. Next up is Dave Ivernese. It's only a matter of time before Reek starts bitching and whining about the lack of skill QBs, cancer spreading. Well, you know, Not a guy that I would have guaranteed money after this year, but it is what it is. Johnny Pope, I've never seen anything like Waddle and Hill taking themselves out of the end of games consistently. Can you imagine or Clayton and Duper wanting out? Like, no. Like O.J. McDuffie wanting out of a lineup? No, dude. Oronde Gadsden? No, they want to stay and throw him the damn ball. Peter J. Finfan, let's be honest, Big O. The way this roster is set up, Tua can't be successful against winning teams. We have a poor line and no third receiver. I think we do have a third receiver. I just think we have a bad coach. Why can Gesicki catch balls with somebody else but not with these guys? I disagree. We have a third receiver. It's just I think we have an incompetent coach. You have Jonnu Smith. He doesn't even know how to use Jonnu Smith, dude. That should be your third receiver. That was my prediction. That was your third receiver. A really good coach uses Jonnu Smith as his third option. I told you all the other guys should be fourth. The running backs and the number 3 receivers, all those guys should be like number 4 options, 5, 6, mixed up one week to another. Nothing special, but Jonnu should be your third. And this fool can't even get him in the lineup. Casey Savino, thank you for the love on the super chat, sir. You are awesome. Big O, you have to blame Greer for not getting a better offensive line. And how does Julian Hill still have a job? Julian has talent. I think they're just bad coaches. Bad coaching, when you see all these penalties, that's where, Casey, you and I will disagree on this one. When I see penalties like that, I blame coaching. Yeah, it could be a player or two that's bad or whatever, but when it's that many and it's spread all over the team, let's not pick on Julian Hill. Let's pick on Mike McDaniel, who does not have any discipline whatsoever as a coach. That's the problem, dude. Mike McDaniel is a joke. I hate to say it. Johnny Pope, hey now, don't dream it's over. Hey now. Yes. And it is over. Big time. Anthony Kyle Campos. We look like a JV team out there. Stay in, fight. It was bad. It was bad. And all these fans that paid money to come here and stuff, ridiculous. Ralph the Ace on the super chat says, I know a guy that played for West Kendall Wildcats back in the day that can call run plays better. and I got to, you know what? You're probably right. Alexander News says, your credibility has been hit, Big O. You always mention that the front office is always great, but now it's going to kick you in the butt. Yeah. Hey, I didn't believe in all the front offices in the beginning, and I was right for years and years. And this is the one I believed in, and I got burned. You know? I think they burned themselves with the coach, really, more than anything else. Go ahead. But let me ask you something, Alexander. Just to have some fun. Let's say it may happen that I'm wrong about Greer. Right? But I was right about Spielman, Ireland, Mueller, Philbin, Tannehill, Wanstead. Hell, I told you Philbin was a bad hire the day they hired him. I said it was a bad hire. So I was right about all of them pretty much. So if I get this one wrong, how's my credibility shot? How's it shot when you're batting like in the 90 percentile somewhere? Not sure about that. You could check my average, and it's the best in town in the last 34 years. And it's not even close. Okay? Hey, look, I got burned with the OBJ thing, but everybody forgets that I said Brewer and OBJ guaranteed to play. And they say, oh, you were wrong, OBJ. But they never mentioned Brewer because Brewer didn't practice either, just like OBJ, just like Walker. and 2 of the 3 ended up playing. You know what I'm saying? But, it's all right. But it's all right, Alexander. I have no credibility now. It's fine, As quick as you're on, even faster you're off. Even though our hitting average is beyond the Hall of Famer. But that's all right. Brooklyn Rob, Mercury Morris decided to check out, then watch this embarrassment. Yeah, that was bad. Brooklyn Rob, our time is coming now. Blue the Dragon. You got to do that. Every time Blue the Dragon sends something in, he is the sensei. Blue the Dragon says, if you had to start from scratch, who would you choose as GM and coach for the Dolphins? I'm not doing that right now. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I love the hypothetical for fun when it matters. Right now, I don't know if they're going to make any changes. I don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? So let's wait till we get to that point, and then let's just simmer and sit in this crap that we're in right now. Yes, sir. What are you going to say?
Sorry, somebody sent me a McDaniel talking said it's going to take a better effort from everyone, starting with myself. He then added consistency has to be found from the nucleus. The guys who truly know the offense need to be on it. We need to get better fast. Every season, teams find a way to win games when their starter or even their backup is out. And then Barry Jackson put in quotations, 4 teams did today.
That's right. It's McDaniel. No, give me the player shit. That's your fault, dude. I watched Shula, bro. I watched Spo. I watched Spo get players that are lesser players and make them better. Lesser teams and be better teams. I did the same shit watching. See, I no longer have to use Shula because I was always the old guy going back to the guy that I watched and grew up. Oh, yeah, you Shula guys. Well, hey, I'm sorry, bro. I watched the real coach. And everything after that doesn't even come close to Don Shula. And then when I look at Spo, I'm like, wow, that's Don Shula basketball version. And anybody that follows the 2 sports and knows the 2 coaches, you know that I'm 100% right. Eric Spoelstra is Don Shula. He is. Riley could never be Shula. Riley played the same kind of basketball with the same kind of players, the big center, in and out, over. Spo has played all kinds of offenses. Don Shula played all kinds of offenses. And so that I love when I have those examples because I tell you all the time as a talk show host for 34 years, there are references that are old because I don't have a newer reference for it. And sometimes I do have a newer reference for something and then I can use it. And in this case, I always had to go back to Shula as the guy that was adjusting to everything. The shit hit the fan, not with Shula. He figured out a way. The shit hit the fan, not with Eric Spoelstra. He figures out a way. Eric Spoelstra is double the coach that Pat Riley is. Double the coach Pat Riley is. X's and O's. It's not even close. Pat Riley's more of a motivator. Spo is freaking genius, dude. Okay? It's not even close. I know the resume is not even close. Riley's resume is superior and obviously and everything, what he means to league and all, yeah, everything else. But when I talk about X's and O's and coaching and adjusting, it's not even close. So what I want to see from McDaniels is X's and O's and coaching and adjusting and making people better. That quote of his, he's full of shit, dude. That's your fault, dude. It's your team. You don't get in plays on time. Your players are a disaster. Your players are constantly committing penalties. That's on you, man. When your team is sloppy, that's on you. Lenny the Locksmith, thank you, sir. Appreciate you with the super chat. And then a sticker on it with an epic fail. I love that. That's pretty cool. Sam Cavison, again, thank you, sir, for the love in the super chat. How come knowing we have an injury-prone QB, this management trusted a very nervous QB like Thompson? Because today he was shaking every snap. Dude, this is that's the coaching staff. And then, yeah, the front office brought him in, but the coaching staff's, no, he's good. He's fine. they'll go get another guy if you want them to get another guy, but they cut Mike White and kept him. And by the way, before this game, let's be honest. Even those of you that thought Skyler would play, you were all lying to yourselves. You were. You never saw anything from Skyler that would say he could go into Lumen's Field and beat the Seahawks. Give me a freaking break, dude. You never saw anything from that guy that would tell you, oh, yeah, no, he can play composed and be clean and be accurate and smart and all. No, dude, he makes bad decisions. He doesn't have accuracy. He's not a good quarterback, and he doesn't even fit this system. That's how bad these coaches are. They picked a quarterback that doesn't fit this system. So, yeah, and then it falls in the front office to crack the whip. That's where you're right, Sam. And say, no, you're wrong. That guy can't play. I'm going to get another quarterback. And they should have done that, and they didn't. So, yes. Like I said, nobody's escaping from this, unfortunately, because where it's at, it's going to burn everybody. I know it. I mean, I can't. What am I going to bullshit you people? I don't do that, bro. Ray Rodriguez, I'm here for the hot dogs. Too many 3 and out on offense. Defense was tired. Again, no adjustments at halftime, no discipline. McDaniels looks lost. This team needs a veteran head coach, not a rookie coach. Amen. It's almost like you get tired of these new coaches that have to then make all their mistakes. But, you know, the interesting part about the Dolphins, we've seen some players that haven't played well here and then go to other places and play better, right? We've never lost a head coach that actually went on to kick ass. Because even Dan Campbell can't be counted because he wasn't ready to be a head coach. He had to go back to being an assistant for almost 10 years before he was able to do it. So it's crazy, dude. And thank you, Ray Rodriguez. I appreciate you for the love in the super chat. Brett Franz. I'm Hans, and I'm Franz, and we're here to pump you up. I'll buy out Skyler's contract personally just to never see him in a Dolphins uniform again. Brett, let's do better. Use that money for Bitcoin and keep it for you and your family, my brother. Because if you can buy out that contract, I want you to spend it on Bitcoin and set up your family for life, my man. Because that kind of money in Bitcoin can set up your family and your kids for life. So do that instead. I'd rather look out for you and your peace of mind. Because even doing that doesn't guarantee our Dolphins win. But using that money for Bitcoin guarantees you win, my friend. And that makes me happy. Aaron Hernandez, fresh out of jail and a coffin. Thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Very kind of you, Aaron. And it's nice now that you're a ghost because really you can't kill people anymore. Ramon, thank you for the love on the super chat. Very nice of you. If we cleaned house, how many first-round picks do we have on this roster, Big O? Tank for Cam. I don't know, man. I don't know. But it's I don't even want to think about cleaning roster and all that stuff. God, it just then we set back and it's years again and we got to go through the oh God. It's like it's the Marlins, except you do it unintentionally. The Marlins intentionally reset. The Dolphins unintentionally reset. I don't want to see it. This hurts, bro. This hurts, bro. This hurts. I said Seattle 27-3. I know Skyler and McDaniel. Well, you were on it, True Fin fan. Thank you for the love. Aaron Hernandez again. No knife in the head. No. Okay. Thanks, and Sean, for what you guys do day in and day out. As young Dolphin fan, disappointment is an understatement, but I'm loyal. Fins up. Well, we have no choice. If not, we're not real fans. Look, we can bitch and come. You know, sometimes years ago, I don't do the beat stuff anymore, so I don't have to deal with the teams all the time. But when I used to do the talk show and then go into locker rooms and all that, and obviously I'd be ripping, and then I go in there and then they know what I'm saying and all that. And then I would have the PR people would come to me and say, why are you so angry about the team and the fans? And I said, well, you better care that you better love that we're angry. And she looked at me like once, she and he, because I had an experience with different sexes. And I said, you better love that we hate. and then we're pissed and all that. And they looked at me like, and I said, that's because we care. And if we don't care, it's the Marlins. You want to be treated like the Marlins? Because I don't even talk about at that time, I was in a streak of 3 years of not talking about the Marlins. And I go, you want me to treat you like the Marlins, where we don't even talk about you? We don't even mention who you are. We don't say any scores. I don't preview any games. I don't bring on any players. I don't bring on any beat people. I don't give it. I told I didn't tell the woman this. I told the guy this. I told him, I don't give a shit about the Marlins. How do you like that? Is that what you want for your team? Oh, no. Okay, well then solve your problems and then they'll be happy. That's how I told them. You know what I mean? So it's just the same bullshit that goes on everywhere. Anyway, you know what? Most organizations should be like the Heat. They're big boys. They understand the criticism and they take it like men. Some other places, they crumble. Who's set to go first? The Perk Man? All right, let's do it. The Perk Man is ready to go. Let's go with Chris Perkins and get it done. Let's get our post-game report going. Fire away.
Time to go to the locker room, Miami Dolphins fans. Let's find out what's percolating with the one and only Chris Perkins in our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins post-game report.
Hold on. All right, I'm having a pop or two at the same time. Dude, I haven't eaten since like 8 o'clock last night.
Oh, you know what, Big O? I had to eat. I like boned up at breakfast here because I'm flying on the red eye on the way out, me and Coronas. And so, so I figured I probably won't have a decent meal till tomorrow morning. So, the airport, who knows? That's hit and miss.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, bro. But I just hadn't eaten. And then when I saw the hot dogs at the stadium, I was like, no. So I held back. But I got to say, I saw Marcel with 3 hot dogs.
It's free, baby. It's free, Big O. Actually, breakfast was really good. They had a omelet bar and all. Yeah, breakfast was good, man.
They told me that you have to go there for breakfast, not lunch. Breakfast is the bomb. But I just want to tell Marcel that he's a heavy hitter. He bats cleanup. He ate 3 dogs. That he bats cleanup, bro.
Hey, he might pay a price. He might pay a price for that later on. But hey, more power to him. Right?
That's a brave man with 3 hot dogs. Oh man, he stacked them up there. All right, Perk. I got off the McDaniel bandwagon last week. This is Cam Cameron part 2, my brother. Is what I not only that. Not only is it Cam Cameron part 2. We have Tannehill Thompson at quarterback because poor Skyler, he has no pocket presence either. He is from the Tannehill genes. There's no doubt about that.
Well, Big O, let me talk you in off this ledge here. Now, I have been a critic of the Mike McDaniel offense since midway through 2022, actually since December when they came back from that West Coast trip after losing to San Francisco and to the Chargers. But because I've always said this offense is about 2 things, Tyreek and the threat of Tyreek. And today Tyreek had, 5 targets? If you take Tyreek out of this offense, then what? I don't care who's at quarterback or, who you have at running back or whatever, the way that this team is constructed, there's just not much more after Tyreek that can beat you. They can run up some yards on the ground. They can get some yards in the air. But when it actually comes to putting touchdowns on that scoreboard, they're hard-pressed to do it, and I think that's the big problem with the Mike McDaniel offense is that after Tyreek, there's not much there, and that's what we've seen since he got injured last year in that Tennessee game. Granted, the next week they did outscore the Jets 30-0, but that's a one-off, right? They scored 70 points without Jalen Waddle. Without a big contribution from Tyreek, this offense really doesn't have anything else, and teams have caught on to that, and that's what we've seen since that Tennessee game.
And by the way, EJD Construction can help you out in Dade and Broward County, so make sure you call my guy Eric if you're looking to remodel your home or business, 305-433-4843 for custom home construction. Please call Eric. at 305-433-4843. And, for me right now, Perk, I was talking about this before you came on. I used to always use the Shula stuff, right? Adjusting to all that. I get to use Spo now because for me, Spo is the young Shula that will adjust to any kind of offense, any kind of thing going on, any kind of adversity. Spo is a master at getting the best out of that situation. And, you've been on those beats. You understand. You've seen that man in action. And to me, that's my problem right now is I'm seeing a coach that is in over his head and all the penalties and the mistakes. Where Thompson bobbles that ball and then they still recover the fumble, that play got in late. It starts with that. And dude, we're into year 3 and you still can't get a play in on time. And you've got a backup quarterback, bro. Your responsibility as a coach is to make his life the easiest possible. And you're just making it harder on him. So that's where I'm at a point now where I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel with Mike McDaniel 2+ years in, and I just don't see any examples of him really coaching through stuff like this.
I think they need a change of strategy and a change of philosophy in that, look, I've said this before that you needed to keep a guy such as Chris Brooks, maybe not Chris Brooks specifically, but somebody who has some muscle in that backfield, right? I thought they were on the right path with the tight ends. They have been going to the tight ends. Tua missed Julian Hill last week. Durham Smythe can't maintain the ball this week. It was a decent throw, but that's asking a lot of Durham to make that catch. He's not that type of a guy.
Don't put him in that position.
Well, yes, I agree with you, but that's kind of what you've done with this roster. And look, Mike McDaniel made the shopping list. Chris Greer shopped for the groceries. So I think that when you look at roster construction, it's a 50-50 thing. These are Mike McDaniel's players. That Chris Greer isn't getting these players on his own.
Everybody's going down. Everybody's to blame here, unfortunately.
Right. That's exactly right.
And look, as much as I like the front office, they're not going to get a chance to hire a third coach. So they're not really going to go out and find another quarterback because then that would also look bad on them. So what they're trying to do is survive for these next 4 weeks to get Tua back because that's the only thing that's going to save all their asses is if Tua comes back. But here's the problem. I think what you're realizing now is that Tua overcame Flo, and I think he's overcome McDaniel, whereas, McDaniel's made a lot of maybe McDaniel pumped him with a lot of love and confidence, but when it came to playing, it's not McDaniel. It's Tua that makes his own plays. We look at McDaniel. He doesn't make a difference for anybody else. And that tells me that, the first year, his rookie year, Tua was 7-3 with Flo. 7-3. And that offense was terrible. That didn't even have Waddle that year. That was a bad offense. They had nothing in that first year. And you still went 7-3? That's pretty damn good. And so to me, it shows that sometimes the players can overcome the coaching. And it's like Jalen Ramsey a couple of weeks ago going from one sideline to another and making an amazing play on that run. It's not the player, it's not the coach, it's the players that have gotten you where you're at. To me, McDaniel is not a guy that makes a difference in players' lives.
I think he does, Big O. I think Mike McDaniel is generally a different coach, but when I talk about a change in strategy and philosophy, all that we're talking about here is offense, quarterback, McDaniel. You got to have a defense. You've got to have a run game. You've got to have special teams. You've got to be built as a team, not as some offensive, high-scoring, entertaining juggernaut.
You're right overall. Today, we can't pick on the defense. They kept them at 17 points into the fourth quarter, and it's like, bro, if you can't produce any points, how many more – you know what that reminded me of? The Jason Taylor years.
Yeah, where Orlando Murray was kicking. Yeah.
And then eventually the defense broke because you just kept riding them, and they weren't that kind of defense. They were never going to be that Ravens-like defense or anything. They were really good, but not super dominant like that.
But, Big O, this team, to me, under McDaniel, has always been built offense. We're going to score. We're going to outscore you. It's not built like Philly or Baltimore or San Francisco, where, look, San Francisco, Big O, they have studs on both sides of the ball. And, and look at Kansas City, studs on both sides of the ball and a kicker. Yeah. You've got to build a better mousetrap, right? That all they focus on is speed here with the Dolphins, and it's biting them in the butt right now. That like last year, when they hired Vic Fangio and traded for Jalen Ramsey, I was really, really excited, Big O. I thought now finally they get it, that it can't be all speed on offense. You need a defensive guru, you need a defensive stud, and you need to keep on building on that side of the ball. But it didn't quite follow through. You have the injuries to Phillips and to Chubb, and then AVG leaves, and Christian Wilkins doesn't get re-signed, and Xavier Howard is gone, and so now a lot of the guts of that defense is gone, and you really don't have what you need on that side of the ball, and it can't pick up the offense. They did have 2 turnovers today, right, with Sealer and Cater Kohu.
Yeah.
You got to be able to score when you're inside the 6, right, 2 times today. But they can't, and the defense did its job, but the defense has to do a little bit more, and the special teams have to do a little bit more. But it has to be constructed in that way that the offense isn't always going to score 30. And again, I know that your defense has two turnovers today, but I'm sorry, defense. You just have to do a little bit more some days. Special teams, Braxton Berrios has that long kickoff return, which was probably, the biggest play when the Dolphins had possession of the ball.
Yeah.
But somehow you've got to do a little bit more everywhere.
But that's where we can't blame that. We can't blame that part on the defense. They had
I'm not blaming.
Yeah. Today, I'm gonna give Weaver and the boys a break. Today, I got to give them a break because to me, what stood out was the incompetence on offense, bro. You just nailed it right there, dude. You're twice inside, not just the red zone, bro.
Right.
You're inside the 10 twice.
Yep.
Bro, that's pathetic.
Yep.
That you can't score.
Can't come away with a single touchdown. You got a field goal out of those 2 possessions, Big O. But look, Big O, sometimes the defense has to carry. Look, just like when the offense scores 30 and 40 and they're carrying you. Defense did a really good job. The defense has done a good job all year, Big O, right? You only allow 17 in the first game.
The first couple games and the run had hurt them a little bit.
It did. They got over 100 both games. But look, even last game, they allowed 24 points because you had the pick 6. 24 that's right on the cusp. But you're at home. Your offense ought to be able to win. But it's all about complementary football, and some days the defense has to do more. I'm not blaming the defense. They did good, but some days the defense has to win a game for you, and it's not built that way right now.
Where do they go from here, Perk? Because I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel at all. I see 1-5 by the time Tua gets back. So what are you hearing? Is there any rumblings in the background there? Where do you go from here?
Well, it's the cliche of they've got to dig deep and find it. And look, this team has had a good mentality, Big O, through the 2 years ago, the Tua injuries last year, that big injury wave of Jerome Baker and Phillips and Chubb and AVG and everybody that got injured. This team keeps a good mentality. It's just, can you find a way to score enough points to win a game? That's where you go from here, Big O. You've got to scrap and you've got to find a way to win games, whether it's, 30 runs this week and then the next week it's a defensive touchdown and 3 turnovers. You've got to find that secret sauce somehow. And like I've said, I don't think it's going to be one overarching thing. Like the previous 2 years, you won with that passing game and that high scoring offense and Tua. This time, I think you've got to mix and match, specific to an opponent, specific to who's healthy, specific to who's playing well that week or that day. That's what you've got to do. Like the way that you beat Tennessee might not be the same way you beat Arizona, but you've got to find ways to do it. Just this outscoring teams, we know that's not going to work with Tim Boyle and Skylar Thompson. So what can this team do? Can you be scrappy? Can you be resourceful? Do you have that in you? That's what we're going to find out with this team. I think that they've got enough to stay at 500 for X amount, 4 weeks.
If you had a real coach, yeah. But
I'm not. But Big O, I'm not. Look, again, I've been very suspicious of this offense, right? And everybody was telling me the last 2 years.
It's not so much the offense; it's the coach, not the offense. The coach. The coach is not a good coach. He doesn't really. To me, he's the kid that took his dad's Ferrari, and then he realized, oh shit, this has got a lot of power. Oh, the tree. Boom, and he wrapped it right around the tree. That is Mike McDaniel right now. He's a play designer. He's not even an offensive coordinator. He doesn't. I mean, what would you have done early in the game? Do you kick that 56-yard field goal, or do you go for the 4th and short and run it?
I'm going for the 4th and short. That's the way that this team ought to be able to do that, Big O. But you don't have the, Alec Ingold. I mean, you're going to run Achane. I mean, you don't have that many options. You need a hammer back there. You need a Chris Brooks type physical runner. And you didn't equip your team with that. Your team does not have the necessary tools to go out there and win games the way it needs to right now.
It's a finesse team. It's a Rams-like team. It's a Rams-like team that it's
100%. 100%, Big O. You're trying to out-finesse a physical sport. And those 99 Rams are the only ones that have been able to do it. The greatest show on turf. That's it. There's a reason for that you got to have some physicality. And I think I wouldn't say that McDaniel is inadequate as a coach. I would say that he did not construct this team correctly. He thought that we can outrun and out-finesse everybody, and teams are just looking at him and laughing and going, you can't outrun us. Like we're just as fast as you are, and we have more muscle. And now what are you going to do? And that's what's facing the Dolphins now. It's that this construction of the team, it's biting them in the butt. And now how do you react? Well, you've got to be resourceful and you've got to be scrappy. These aren't going to be aesthetically beautiful victories. The beautiful passes to Tyreek and to Jalen Waddle and everybody cheering and throwing roses at your feet. This is going to be some ugly, scrappy 1970s football. Do you have that in you?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. By the way, speaking, because you talked about the Titans, and I'm sure Will Levis is looking forward to seeing Miami next week because that's probably the last time he actually played well. And so, but here's the other thing. You just mentioned the Rams. They won that Super Bowl by a yard against the Titans,
yes.
right?
Yep.
So,
Tyson, right? Yeah.
Even the greatest show on turf barely won the Super Bowl on 1 yard.
Yep. Yep,
So,
exactly. It's a hard way to win that the Dolphins have chosen. And listen, I will say this about Mike McDaniel as a coach. I've said it before. He's different, right? He truly cares about building a better person than as much as building a better player. But unfortunately, Big O, that's not going to win you any games. Like I appreciate Mike McDaniel being different. He genuinely, truly cares about these players. But that's not going to get you any victories. That's a separate issue. I'm not going to rip him as a coach, but I will blame him again for the construction of this team. What Mike McDaniel is doing is different, right? He believes in player empowerment, and he believes they want to win Super Bowls. They want to work hard, but Mike McDaniel leaves it to the players to define what hard work is. And Flores and Pat Riley and Don Shula and all these other guys are right on top of you, making sure that you work hard. And these are, I think that McDaniel is a good coach. It's how he's approaching the job and how he's built this team. That's where I find fault and take exception with Mike McDaniel.
Folks, Chris Perkins just told you it's better to be the Kansas City Chiefs, who have much more players getting arrested than the Miami Dolphins because it leads you to championships. Okay, so there you go.
What's more important to you?
Yeah, exactly. So you get more arrests, you get more rings. So the cuffs turn into rings. We make them smaller and they become rings all of a sudden. So
that'll work for the Cowboys back in the day, right? Yeah,
exactly. It works. It worked for the Raiders too. It's
right. Exactly.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Hey, our buddy in Florida, Stanky Fingers. It worked for him. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So I know you're not working on stories about stanky fingers, but what you are working at the Sun Sentinel?
Yeah, well, obviously, I'm going to try to do something on Mercury Morris and the 72 Dolphins later on in the week. Very sad that Merck passed away. But as far as this team, Big O, it's really got to be the resourcefulness and the scrappiness. Like, how do you score more than 3 touchdowns when you have Skylar Thompson and Tim Boyle out there? That's really what I'm going to be working on and focusing on is really trying to find a solution. And I don't have the answers right now, Big O. Hopefully I'll have them in a couple of days, but you're really, really, really asking a lot out of this roster as it's currently constructed, because it is not constructed for what it's going to face and what it is facing now and for the next few weeks.
I'm with you there. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Chris Perk, and better yet, catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Perk, safe travels on that red eye, my brother. We're taking off tomorrow at 1.
Good deal. Good to see you today. I couldn't talk to you too much, Big O. I was just, I was swamped in the press box, but we'll see each other again soon, I'm sure.
I respect that. I know exactly what you're doing, my man. All good, baby. Thank you, my man.
All right, Big O.
There you go. And, of course, Chris Perkins, our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins postgame report. And, of course, when you are talking fully insured and liability, that's EJD Construction. That way, if they go work on your property and anyone gets hurt, you're not going to get sued. So make sure if you hire somebody, they are fully insured, like EJD Construction, Dade, Broward counties. They've been doing this for a long, long time. AAA rating from the Better Business Bureau. Call Eric. This is his personal cell number, 305-433-4843.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins post-game report with the Sun Sentinel's Chris Perkins. For additions, home remodeling, and custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
All right. There we go. And now we heard from Chris Perkins. Let's hear from the other man that gets it done, and that is the one and only Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins postgame show with David Furones.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. There he is. Locked and loaded and ready to go. How you feeling, my man? You feeling good?
I'm feeling all right. Pretty tired, and I'm about to be flying a red eye. I think that same red eye that Perk is on. I'm going to be hitting that too. So hopefully I'm able to get some Z's on that flight back.
Yeah, well, you should be able to sleep a little bit on the flight unless it gets crazy on the way back, and hopefully not. Hopefully it's a nice, safe flight.
No screaming children, please.
Yes. I did have is there a doctor on board?
Oh, yeah.
We had that. It was towards the front of the plane, but apparently they resolved it and they kept it under control. And by the way, first time ever flying Alaska Airlines. Freaking awesome, dude. Awesome experience, dude. They handled that crisis professionally. We took off on time. We landed on time. My luggage was there at the carousel when I got there. Like, that hadn't happened to me in years, dude. Alaska Airlines does it right, bro. If I ever have to fly out west, I'm definitely going to use. I don't know what you used, but I know he came in Delta. I know you're going back in Alaska with me. But, yeah, it's man, that was good. Yeah. Did you have any good food?
Yeah, a good chowder out here. It's a good seafood. Myself, Perk, and Joe Shad, we had dinner across the water, Elliott Bay. I saw on a map is what it was, where we had a good sight line of the skyline of Seattle downtown area. That's where we were staying. But Joe rented a car and we drove around to the side. Also got a nice beach sunset view after dinner. So yeah, I mean, this is a beautiful city. First time here for me.
Right?
Yeah, good food. So, aside from this game, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, the game sucked, but everything else was a phenomenal weekend, dude. I saw 2 concerts, and then went all the touristy things. I went to see Bruce and Brandon Lee and Jimi Hendrix and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, you did all that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool, man. And going down to the marketplace where they throw the fish and all that.
You saw that? Yep.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
Yeah. The Space Needle, I even did the Space Needle. I wasn't sure I would actually do it. It was more of a touristy thing. I stood in a line, but I said, I've never been here. When's the next time I'm going to be here? Screw it. Let me just go ahead and take the shot. And it was cool.
Very cool. Very cool. So let me ask you, what are your thoughts that a coach is constantly playing the risk game when he doesn't really know how to play it, or his players aren't good enough for it? And whether you're taking a risk with what's it called, Durham Smythe in the corner of the end zone, or Robbie Chosen last week, or DeBose, or whatever, or going for the 56-yarder at the beginning of the game when maybe you should run the ball. There's just the style of coaching of Mike McDaniel. It's very loose, and he takes a lot of chances, and he burns his team a lot with those chances. So your thoughts on the risky way he coaches?
Risky way. Yeah. Interesting. I'll start from the beginning. That 4th and 1, I felt, and this is what he usually does, which would be to go for it in these 4th down scenarios. He's more liberal toward going for it. I mean, first game that he ever coached as a head coach, we saw him take a chance around midfield, a little bit on the plus side on 4th and 7, and throw that before the half touchdown to Jalen Waddle. Remember against the Patriots week 1, 2022? That worked out really well there. So I was kind of stunned that 4th and 1 in that spot on the field where it's a 57-yarder, maybe if it's just like 50, maybe if you're just like 5 yards up or something, or, definitely if it's a 40-something yarder, you could just kick it and take the points. But I was a little surprised from 57, that distance. And I asked him post game, and he said he liked the way Jason Sanders has been striking the ball. I guess he watched him pregame to make that determination, and just feeling that points would be at a premium, that his defense would play a solid game. And they did give up 2 touchdowns in that first quarter, but at that point it was a 3-0 game. And sure, the defense.
You mean the same guy that loves Skylar Thompson to death, and that Skylar has earned this, and he's ready for this? That same guy? That same guy? Oh, okay. All right.
Right. I mean, yeah, I guess going off how the defense did show up that second and third quarter, keep it tight. But yeah, I mean, I guess the true feeling of where he felt the offense would be with Skylar Thompson was that they needed to keep the score low to have a chance. And that feeling that those 3 points would be huge. But man, I just felt like from that spot, 57 yards, I mean, even 4th and 1, then you could still get yourself closer. You keep a drive going, keep a touchdown alive. It's a scripted first drive. You should at least be better offensively, more efficient on that initial drive. So I felt they could have just kept that going if they could get a 4th and 1. They got stuffed on 3rd and 1. It's, if you can't pick up a 1 yard on 2 shots at it, then what are we doing here? So I felt he should have gone for that one.
I get a text here. It says Julian Hill sucks. I don't think Julian Hill sucks. I think Julian Hill is coached badly, because that's why you're constantly making mistakes. And when you have all those penalties, it isn't only Julian Hill committing penalties. Penalties are happening all over the place. And I blame the coach for that. I blame whoever your head coach is. If your team is committing a ton of penalties, that's on your head coach for not creating a discipline-like atmosphere. And again, going and talking about his style of coaching and risky, this is another irresponsible way of things that he does. He doesn't really coach players. They're not a disciplined team, dude.
Yeah. I mean, the penalties reared their ugly head in this one. And actually, I was actually shocked when I looked down and saw that the Seahawks had as many penalties, 11 as well. It didn't feel that way. It felt like the Dolphins' penalties were just huge every time. And maybe that's just from the perspective of watching Dolphins' perspective as opposed to, thinking of both teams as you watch the game. But ugly game. Julian Hill had a lot of those, a lot of pre-snap penalties, a lot on special teams as well. So that's going to be something we have to drill Danny Crossman on this week. And also, it is a tough place to play too. I'm not going to rid the Dolphins coaches or any players of blame for the penalties going in, but I think it really just showed the road environment, and really also a testament to how the Dolphins were unprepared for this kind of hostile environment.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just they looked like they were completely unprepared. Look, I gave up on him last week. I don't think he's the guy. I just, I don't know where you're at with him. To me, it's Cam Cameron part 2. Today, I just watched Tannehill Thompson at quarterback. He poor kid. He doesn't even have any. He has no pocket presence. He can't feel anything whatsoever, and he showed it many times over that he wasn't prepared. And again, I gotta blame Mike McDaniel. He puts Chosen and the other kid last week, and now you got putting what's it called, the tight end in a position that he's not a pass catcher, and why would you do that? And things that he does, what he did with the fullback too, and today was like just an extension of all of this. Where convince any of us that Mike McDaniel is the right head coach here?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. That's a big. I don't want to say a big ask, but it's a deep question.
Come on, tough guy.
Because you're right. He still hasn't shown that he could win big games against winning teams, win on the road in tough environments. This was another example. I mean, even the Seahawks, they're a winning team, but 2-0 and tight games against like the Patriots and beating the Broncos. So you would think, okay, it's not like these other winning teams, but it is a hostile environment. And there are a lot of preparation things that need to improve. Just from a coaching standpoint, a preparation standpoint.
When, bro? When?
I know, and it's year 3
already. I mean, that should have already been done already. You should be sharp as a tack right now, right?
Yeah, these are some things that are just inexcusable in year 3 that you could understand when it's the first season, and year 2, then. Well, you see so many good things when they don't play strong opponents that you could still say, all right, that's just they need to just get over the hump against the stronger competition. But I know there's a lot of factors going into this one with the backup quarterback, and then going into your third, and a lot of other injuries and the hostile environment. But here's what I will say. You shouldn't make grand determinations off of a game where this many things were against you in terms of I never had the Dolphins winning this game myself. So it went to an extent sort of how I expected it would in this environment with Skylar Thompson playing. And now, I mean, I still feel like you have a Tyreek Hill in this offense. You have a Jalen Waddle, Devon Achane. You have to be able to find ways to get all these guys. These are the guys that you want in a Mike McDaniel coach offense. They're perfect for what he's running. And Skylar Thompson, albeit a backup quarterback and a 7th-round draft pick, he was handpicked by this coaching staff, which has now been together for 3 years. So by that, and if everything is true as far as how much he has improved since he was thrown into the fire his first year as a pro, then why wouldn't he be better equipped to handle this scenario?
Yeah, well, that's my problem right now. And when I look at it, I don't know if I see a guy that's equipped to handle, this scenario right now. That's the sad part of it, man. And then they're not going to make any changes because they can't. Right. Because, and I've said it many times, as much as I like the front office, and I actually think this team is not that bad. I think it's just
of course.
I think the coaching is freaking horrible. Okay, I don't have enough of an opinion on Weaver yet to say anything. And today, his side did enough. They had 17 points into the fourth quarter, bro. If you can't score and you're there inside the red zone twice, inside the 10 twice, and you can't score and you miss field goals and all that stuff, I can't help you on that side. So to me, that's my major problem right now, with this team. I just don't know where you go from here, because I don't think you have the guy that can get this thing over the hump at all, to be quite honest.
Yeah. And when we have these discussions, it's not like we're going to a place of how much longer before he's on the hot seat. It's clear he's not, because he was just extended before this season. And yes, there's the fair share of adversity early this season. Wild weeks 1 and 2, wild week because they were within 5 days of each other. Tyreek Hill detained, and then Tua has another concussion. And it is a lot getting thrown at you before you go into that first road game in a tough environment with so many things going on. But I think Zach Sealer did say it best when he said we're 1 and 2. It's only week 3, and there's still the rest of the season ahead of us. So we've seen teams come back from a lot worse.
Really?
Really?
What? Show, please. No. I gotta put you on the spot now.
All right. What?
You said something. Show me a bad coach that started badly and they turned it around. Show me one. What example was that one? I'd love.
Well, the same one that Zach Sealer brought up was 2021. The Dolphins started 1-7 and reeled off 7 in a row. Ended up with a winning record. They weren't eliminated until that Week 17 loss to the Titans.
Oh, you mean Zach Sealer left out that they lost all 7 games against the good teams, and then they won against the shitty teams?
They even lost.
Remember, we had this conversation.
Yeah. Do you want better, though?
The magic number is 7 every year. You play 7 playoff games. How do you perform against them? And Zach Sealer, just remind him that you're either 1-6 or 2-5 against good teams constantly. So it doesn't matter if you win 6-7 games down the stretch against shitty teams. By the way, while you were winning those games, I said Flo was going to get fired.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
You were on it.
Yes. So, give me a break. You were winning the shitty games. Yeah. That's why I made that video of stuck in the middle, because that's been the Dolphins. They beat the shitty teams, but they can't beat the good teams. They've been stuck in the middle for years. You think about it, shitty coaches don't turn teams around and make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't really happen much.
Yeah, even in that scenario, the Dolphins did not make the playoffs. They needed everything just to stay alive into the penultimate week, and then still miss the playoffs the first time they lost again. Also, I'll do you one better that year. Yeah, they lost to the good teams, but they also lost to 2 shitty teams, the Jaguars in London and the home game against the Falcons when they came back without the post-London bye. So there were 2 more that just added on. You just need. How
about that? Stanky Fingers makes another appearance on the segment. There we go. Because Stanky Fingers came up in the last segment with Perk. Stanky Fingers is the head coach of the Jags, former coach of the.
Yeah.
Why we call him Stanky Fingers.
Oh, I see why. I do see why now. Yes. Stanky Fingers.
So let me say, I put you in a position now. You're the owner. What do you do right now? What do you do right now? If you're the owner, do you just stand status quo? Do you demand something? Do you how do you crack the whip? What changes do you have to make? Because I get this from some of my friends, and let's go get Russell Wilson. I laugh at that because there isn't a quarterback that's going to save your ass right now. There's nobody that is available. Or if you have to trade for somebody and give up, draft capital, you're getting shit back in return that isn't really going to save your season. And you're saving it for what? To win 6 or 7 games and put yourself again and ruin your draft position. So how do you save this?
Big O, I get those same questions from friends of mine, people that run into me, and with like these out there scenarios, like what can they change? And I'm like, No, like don't expect wholesale changes.
Oh, I know that.
The Dolphins are committed to what they have. This core, they extended just about everyone that they can to make this core the one that they're committed to going forward. So from Mike McDaniel just got his extension. Tua Tagovailoa just got his extension, assuming his health, and then he comes back from this concussion and so on and so forth. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Jalen Ramsey, all extended. Well, Tyreek Hill was just added on to with the guaranteed money. So he made his current contract just more rock solid as far as that he will be with the team for the duration of that contract. But Bradley Chubb has a contract down the road, and it's Zach Sealer. So you have your core, and that's a lot of salary cap tied into it. It's Mike McDaniel tied into it, and Steve Ross. He's not the one. I mean, maybe he'll. If it gets to a certain point, he could pound on the table and say, "Hey, guys, I demand better from you." But that's about the extent of what I believe he would bring forward. It's not like he's in a position to make some huge changes because the Dolphins are committed to this group for the years to come. And maybe if it doesn't work out, if it's very clear after this season, after another, and maybe the next, then maybe it's a Chris Greer question, which he is pretty safe right now. I mean, I do like the roster on paper when I look at it. And then it's the Mike McDaniel question, but it's not for this year. And it's not, there's not wholesale changes coming immediately or even with the quarterback, because it's to his team. Once they sign him to that extension early in training camp ahead of this season. So that part, it is what it is. And Ross himself is a more hands-off owner. He brings the money, but he is the guy who lets the football people take care of the football things.
By the way, an important stuff going on. Marcel Louis-Jacques has answered and says, I grabbed 2 at halftime because my fiance asked me to grab her one, but I didn't end up actually eating. I don't usually eat at halftime. I did eat one after the game for a grand total of 1. I will not allow this slander to stand. Answer for your crimes, Big O. And I said to him, well, then I'm no longer impressed with him because I thought he ate 3. I thought he was Superman.
What are we talking?
1?
We're talking about the glizzies, the hot dogs?
Yeah, those hot dogs. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I did eat.
No way I was eating any of those after my Dairy Queen fiasco.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I did eat 2 because I had a hearty breakfast at the hotel.
You ate 2? Wow.
Yeah. Well, so first I had the breakfast before going out to the game. So I didn't have the pregame meal. It was all breakfast food, and I wasn't hungry yet. So I just figured whatever they had at halftime, I was going to eat that. So, 1 hot dog isn't.
Well, you and Sean both ate 2, right?
Yeah. Real men eat 2 hot dogs.
No, real men eat 3. I thought Marcel was a real man. I saw like a stack of 3. I think he's lying. I think he had all 3. Just doesn't want to admit it. So,
well, yeah. In a media dining room.
Ask Furones whatever you want.
Furones, I got another question. I don't know if you've seen this photo going around on Instagrams. Whose ass is that the Dolphins offense resembles?
Whose ass is that?
You didn't see the play? The Seahawks is grabbing a Dolphin from behind, and it pulled his pants all the way down.
Oh, man. Okay, no. So I've been so locked in. I haven't seen the trending photo.
I know. I saw it, but I didn't see it in the game. So we got mooned. So you were watching the game. You didn't see anybody moon the crowd?
Mooning the crowd?
Yeah,
by force.
If they yank your pants down, you're mooning the crowd.
Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
So I mean, I'm watching the game on the field, and then I have my tablet rolling with the broadcast, but I'm only looking at the broadcast, and I keep my headphones in. Yeah, for a replay, it's on a delay anyway, so sometimes it works out timing wise. Like, all right, now I could check what I just maybe missed, or what TV view offered viewers. But I'm also in my laptop a lot, just writing live throughout the game too. So sometimes I do miss things that are on camera.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I mean, Jesus, it's you got it there. All right, so this is the picture. It's floating, but are you sure that's real? Because nowadays they can like mess with anything practically. There you go. Apparently we've got, I didn't know a dolphin had an ass. I had no idea that dolphins have asses, but apparently this dolphin has ass.
Oh, here we see it. Okay.
You see it there?
I see a single digit. I see light skin.
So it's Braxton Berrios?
Is it Braxton? It looks like it could be a 0. My goodness. Well, what are we doing here? I really don't want to be looking this closely.
But you're an analyst.
An anal analyst.
You're an analyst right now. You're breaking it down for us. You know what I'm saying? Okay, this is not this is the portion that's a little PG-13 for you all out there. Okay, but it's good to know he does shave his ass, whoever it is. But there you go. It's probably Braxton. You know what? Shaved ass, Braxton Berrios. Yes, model, all that. Yeah, there you go. There you go. We cracked the case.
It must. I mean, it looks like it looked like single digit, and it was in the shape of a 0. So it was sort of a round number. Yep. So
everything
it seems like it.
Everything's about a hole right there. Yes, you are correct.
So let me see Braxton Berrios, because if we could, he was being tackled by Rayshon Jenkins there. Huh?
And also, I'm not saying that wasn't might have been Photoshop, but there is the Images logo on it. So usually those are, but I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't see that play. It would have gone like everywhere. I don't know. That to me, that's rigged. That looks.
It is perfect for the Dolphins offense. I mean, for a Dolphins offense,
they did play like ass.
I mean, that is.
You know, they did play like a shit.
And McDaniel's play.
They actually play like a hairy ass, not really a shaved ass.
Yeah.
They play like a hairy one. So you know, that's probably where we're at right now. All right. So the interview's completely fallen off the wheels. Go ahead.
I was just gonna bring this. So I mean, I'm trying to delve deeper into it. It was Rayshon Jenkins tackling him.
Delve deeper. Okay.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Braxton Berrios did not have an offensive touch in this game. Receiving, he was targeted once, didn't have a catch, didn't end up with any rush. So is Rayshon Jenkins making special teams tackles too? I'm not sure. Maybe we can find that because I saw he was the one making the tackle.
What'd you say?
Durham Smythe have a catch, David?
Durham Smythe? No.
No,
that's not Durham Smythe, bro. It's a smaller person.
It's 80 something.
The number?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It could be 2 digits.
It is 2 digits. If you look to the top right above the ass, there's a blue marking, which would be another digit.
All right, you guys.
Smythe had 1 catch for 3 yards. Was he tackled by Rayshon Jenkins on that play?
I don't know.
Let's see if we can find that out.
Inquiring asses want to know.
Yeah.
It gets no better than this. This is expert analysis, analyst.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
yes, analyst.
The play-by-play says his 3-yard catch. Jenkins was one of 2 people credited with an assisted tackle. Now that picture seemed to show it was just him, but maybe someone else was in there, made some contact with him.
Well, somebody joined in. It became a little bit of a threesome.
Oh no! Oh, where are we going?
I'm sorry.
We're really off the rails.
We're really off the rails here. I mean, really, it's just the things that go on in Washington just don't happen anywhere else. What is going on here in the field in Seattle?
Jesus. Somebody's saying Julian Hill was having a problem with his pants the whole game.
All right. Okay, that makes sense. All right.
He is light skinned. Is he like that?
Well, he was holding, he needed to hold his pants. He was holding somebody else, whatever. So, I get it. Maybe that's why he couldn't play well. He was just concentrating on holding his pants up. Yeah. So we can't afford even good uniforms anymore? Are we like FIU now or something?
Yeah, Julian Hill did have 2 catches.
There you go.
There you go. It'll be tough to find if Jenkins was on the tackle on 1, but it would make sense too.
Do we call him Butthill now? Do we call him Butthill now? Julian Butthill. Huh? All right. So what do you got going on the Sentinel so folks can check you out, brother?
All right, wrapping up game coverage here with the injury updates as well, because we did have Kendall Fuller and Teron Armstead go into concussion protocol now. Obviously, Skylar Thompson exits and David Long had a hamstring injury. So wrapping that up, detailing Tua was on the sideline today after traveling, but yeah, we're going to get into all the reaction coming up now as as we turn the page, travel back home, and turn the page to a Monday night game against Tennessee.
Yeah.
Mercury Morris, too. I wrote about Mercury Morris.
Yeah, the last time Will Levis played well, he can't wait to actually play the Dolphins because he might be able to play well again.
Yeah, well, it's not Vic Fangio's defense he's going up against this time, so maybe different results with Anthony Weaver. But, and also Mercury Morris. I actually started my day here on the West Coast waking up to that news and writing about him. Yeah, very sad. A legend, of course, and just one of the better personalities.
And a trip of a dude, bro.
Yeah, even better person.
A couple times, and I had him on the show several times over the years, and he was just an awesome person to just deal with. He was easygoing and funny as hell, dude. Funny.
A ringleader for the 72 Dolphins, and hyping up that achievement years later. Every year, whenever that last team goes down, he's going to be there to remind you the Dolphins are the one member of the population in Perfectville.
Yeah, the character. No doubt about that. All right, follow him on Twitter at David Furones _. Make sure you subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel and call our friends at Welton Rayom, 954-966-4646. Bankruptcy. I know a lot of Americans, unfortunately, are dealing with really tough financial issues. It can happen to any of us. Easily happen to me. It could easily happen to any of you out there. Call them 954-966-4646. They've got a complete staff that can get you out of those issues. Criminal defense, condo damage, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, property damage. Please call Welton Rayom. Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom. The consultation is free. 954-966-4646. David, safe travels, my brother. We'll catch up later on in the week.
Sounds good, Oh.
You got it.
Out here.
There you go. Good to see you. That is David Furones and our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins post-game report.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help. After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slowens, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
The lost city of Atlantis reveals its secrets at Toyota of Hollywood. Get legendary deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a 2024 Corolla, not $24,000, $20,988. Unlock the wonders of 0% financing for 5 full years, 0 down. Rediscover Atlantis at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The game is final. Tua and the boys are in the locker room. Let's go over what happened in this game in our Dolphins post-game show with Big O. The post-game show is brought to you by Welton Rayom, Acura of Pembroke Pines, Hialeah Park Casino, Toyota of Hollywood, RM Contractors. The stats are final. The insiders are ready. The platform is mastered by the one and only Sean Stanley. Now, let's find out what the Big O thinks about this matchup as we start our Dolphins post-game show. Here's Big O.
Rough and Ocala Joe sends in a text. This is McDaniel and Crossman are both a joke. This team is back to square one. What a letdown. And that's exactly how I feel right now. That it feels like we're back to square one. You know, and again, Ocala Joe, thank you for the Cash App. Thank you, sir. He says, oh, and McDaniel Crossman both suck. I'm pissed. And you should be pissed, my brother. You should be pissed. You should be pissed. Christopher De La Cruz. Thank you for the love on Cash App for what should be Miami's plan after 2 losses, Big O. Christopher, I kind of told you what I think they should do, and they should tank. I said that last week. After the loss, I said, time to tank. Because unfortunately, Tua doesn't want to take care of himself, so we're screwed. If Tua doesn't want to take care of himself, we're screwed. And this coach is terrible. So, you got to you're screwed now. You have to draft a quarter. Even if Tua comes back and plays the rest of the year and plays well, you still have to draft a quarterback now. You know, because you can stay with Tua because you're already paying him, but now you have to plan for life without Tua constantly now. So you're going to have to draft a quarterback next year. Guarantee, and a high quarterback. It has to be like in the first round or 2. So this is a bad situation, ladies and gentlemen. This is a bad situation. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. John Montgomery says, thanks for the therapy sessions on Venmo. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. There we go. All right, bring up the super chats, my friend. What do we got? Mark Gallagher. All right. Mark Gallagher is up and says decision-making, penalties, clock management, challenges, late play calls, burning timeouts. It just goes on and on. Tell me, what does McDaniel do well? Nothing. He can design some plays, but he doesn't know how to use them, when to use them exactly. That's about it. I mean, he's a good person. He's a good human being, but he's not a good game. He's a terrible – bro, he is – this is Cam Cameron part 2 is what I'm watching. Yeah. Thank you. Brett Franz. Based off of today, I assumed this contract was only $5. Yeah, huh? How do you extend him? Where was that a good idea? He hadn't done shit. And again, I don't think this roster is a bad roster. I think if you had a much better coach, you might be 2-1, 3-0. With a real coach, even with the players, even if we're not as happy with some of the parts of the offensive line, I think with a real coach, you're still 2-1, 3-0. Johnny Pope, I got cooked for saying we need Justin Fields in the offseason as a backup running QB. Yeah, Justin Fields, I mean, you know, he's not a good passer, bro. And he can't play in this offense. He's not a passer. He's a runner. So I don't know. That would be – I would not want Justin Fields. And he's a tough kid, man. Very likable kid. Next up. Red Firebird 350. 900 people watching, only a few likes. Come on, guys. Big O, there's nothing that can't save this team. Yeah, there isn't. Please hit the hell out of that like button, man. Let's go. You guys can get us well over 600. You know that? There's 344 and there's 633 watching. Come on, guys. Next up. Ernie D. A little something for your travel fund. Everyone hit the like button. We owe this to Big O for his hard work. Thank you. Thank you, Ernie D. Sean and I appreciate that. Thank you. Next up, Ernie D. Studly work on your part. RMVM77 being a stud also with a donation. How could Chris say we don't have much beyond Tyreek? We have tons of weapons. We just have a coach who can't use. Exactly. The whole third receiver thing. Well, there's Jonnu Smith, bro. What are you waiting for? Use him. I'm with you, RMVM. Thank you for the super chat, my brother. Appreciate you immensely. Next up is Johnny Pope. Thank you, Johnny Pope, again. Is this dude really saying defense? I think you were talking about Perkins there. Yeah, today I'm not talking about remember, and I said this pregame, right? I said I'm not ready to. I know we haven't been totally satisfied with Weaver yet the first 2 weeks, but I'm not ready to give up on the guy. And I thought they did all right today. It's just your offense is terrible, dude. I can't ask much more from them. Your offense has to do their part. This is not a generational defense that can carry you, so I can't expect them to play that way. True Fin Fan, thank you, you stud. Which coach has turned it around after 3 years? Mario Cristobal's trying to do that. After 3 years, who's turned it around? Let me see who's got it going on in the right direction in the league. I got to look at the standings so I can say something with an educated opinion, or at least an attempted educated opinion. Yeah, Dan Campbell is definitely one of them after 3 years. He definitely got his program going in the right direction. You're right about that. It's a good one on your part right there. Sean McVay, well, but he had so much success early on. But he still made the playoffs last year with a team that none of us thought he was going to make the playoffs. McVay did a nice job, but he started well. So we can't say what True Fan's bringing up. That's not the exact same thing. Right. That you're building it up from nothing and then you're something. That's one of them. That's one of the examples right now that you can think of is Dan Campbell, because he got better and better every single year. That would be one of the few examples. There aren't a lot of them, actually. If you really think about it, there aren't a lot of them. So there you go. All right, the great fear. Is Perk saying D has to do more? What does it matter if the offense only? Exactly. I would disagree. This week is not about mentioning the D, bro. The D did more than enough. I can't ask more from the defense. I can't. What was I sent here? All right. I'll read it later. Let's see. Johnny Pope, Drew Rosenhaus finessed the organization. When was the last sports team to extend the entire core with league max contracts for back-to-back first-round playoff exits? See, but here's the problem, Johnny Pope, with that. They're either criticized that they don't pay, and then now they're getting criticized because they pay. But, yeah, you got to pay the right people, and including your head coach. It's so screwed up. Johnny Pope, thank you. And once again, what I'm watching, time to spend Sunday Bibles. Sunday's Bible. Yes, you're probably better off with a Sunday Bible. Brett Franz, McDaniel plays school recess football. Yeah, basically. Thank you, my friend. Mattel Dulio, 10 days off for this BS. That's the worst part about it. You had 10 days to prepare for not a great team, because the Seahawks aren't a great team. And this is what you do? Dog shit, dude. It's sad. It really is. This offense hasn't been relevant since they put 70 points against Denver from last year. Yeah. I mean, they've gone through 7 straight quarters of no touchdowns right now. 7 straight quarters, no touchdowns. They got their first down in the fourth quarter today. They were like 1 of 12. It's just, it's so pathetic. It really is. This is a Greer problem. His project has failed and has failed the O-line yet again. The team needs to find a new GM. Let a GM. Little tough with the McDaniels getting extended, but Greer needs to go, man. You can't keep McDaniel. He's the worst. the talent is better than the coach. If you had a better coach, the talent would look better. So the bigger problem is the coach, but the problem is the general manager hired the coach. And so I understand. Look, dude, right now there's nothing to defend. Nothing is doing well. So I can't defend the front office. And as much as I like the front office and want to see them succeed, and I expected them to succeed, I understand that freaking wheels are falling apart right now. And it's led by Mike McDaniel, and that's their coach. And I know that it's going to be tough for them to get the break, to get the third, be allowed to hire a third coach. You know what I mean? I hope so, but we'll see. It's rough, man. Rough. Greer messed up with this backup. Well, the backup QB situation that's McDaniel's fault. He should have kept at least Mike White over Skyler. Mike White at least has more consistency in his game than Skyler ever will. So you kept the wrong guy out of the two. That's McDaniel's call, dude. And it's McDaniel's call. It's in his third year now. He could have gotten another guy if he wanted to, and Greer would have gotten him for him, just like he wanted Achane and he wanted I think he wanted Wright, but I know he wanted Achane, and he got him Achane. If he wanted another quarterback, Greer would have gotten it for him. Again, it's Greer's fault too, because the GM makes decisions also. But the coach clearly was behind Skyler the entire time. So it's on him. His assessment sucks. Okay? Right? He's the one that uses brings Robbie. I would have never even signed Robbie Chosen in the first place. He's brought him back and forth several times. That tells you all you need to know about that guy. Robbie Chosen. You're going to count on that guy. Come on, dude. What kind of stupid person counts on Robbie Chosen to bail you out of any situation? That's just absolute insanity, man. Insanity. By the way, Bitcoin's about to hit 64,000. 63,911. It's climbing on a Sunday. Void Macedo says McDaniel play calling lately makes Nathaniel Hackett look like Andy Reid. Yeah, that's a pretty good one, by the way. I like that. Greg says, yeah, Skyler was straight up lottery pick. LOL. Tim Boyle came in and showed up, and he barely has been on the team. Yeah, Tim Boyle is better than Skyler, and Tim Boyle is terrible. Big O, we are the worst team in the NFL. Yeah, we're gonna end up that. That's for sure. We're gonna end up that. This was really bad, says Guillermo. Could not finish the game. Started to cut my lawn. My wife already knew to leave me alone. Heartbreaking, horrible coaching. So many things. Yeah. Yep. I'm glad you see the real problem, Big O. McDaniel ain't it. Never was. Smoke and mirrors. Yeah, he ain't it. I was officially off last week. I mean, listen, I ripped him a lot last year. He was already coming in this year. Like I told you, he was already on double secret probation with me. And Tyon, we have a soft-ass team. And who's going to argue with Tyon there? That's exactly what the Dolphins look like. Soft. I remember when people lost, some of these Dolphins lost their minds last year when they lost that early Buffalo game, and I said that you play like frauds. And guess what? Since then, that's all McDaniel's proven, is that he's a fraud. Personality and a GQ dresser. Outside of that, your coaching is fraudulent. And by the way, criminal. Because you're doing a disservice to all these men. You're not good enough to coach in that room. You're not good enough to put them in positions to be successful and win. That's how bad Mike McDaniel is. He's not in a good enough position to put people in a position to win. That's disgusting, dude. Seriously. It's just a joke. Create your own adversity and call it opportunity. Yeah. I'm a big supporter of this front office. I don't know. Rather, they learn through trials and tribulations here and stay and then go elsewhere and be great. Might be wrong, but That's just how I feel. Yeah, it could happen. I love the three guys at the top. But I get it. Right now, nobody can defend anything that's going on. And I'm not going to sit here and insult your intelligence when we're watching Mike McDaniel, who looks like a complete amateur out there. And it's a terrible hire. There's no other way to spin it with Mike McDaniel. That's a terrible hire. And you know what's a shame? He's ruined the opportunity for this team over and over and over. This guy didn't even know the down the first year. Right there, we should have known. Like that. That's the kind of stoner shit that just doesn't happen to head coaches. You forget what down it is in the middle of a game? You know, that's just and that's why he looks like Spicoli coaching. Greer had 5 years to complete the rebuild. Now the wheels are falling off. I know. I can't tell you things are going well, dude. You know, so it's just the way it is. You fans who keep defending Greer are just delusional as Big O. It's getting embarrassing. Well, it is what it is. And we had folks saying Hill and Waddle made Tua. Now, Tua and Waddle and Hill made McDaniel. McDaniel doesn't know how to make them better. That's the problem. That's the entire problem here. He doesn't know how to make anybody better. And that would be a problem. That's why I'm telling you that if you had a better coach, you would have a better record. But you hired the wrong coach, unfortunately. All right, folks, we are out of here. We want to thank the owner, Steve Dorn, also Jamie Brady. I know he's not here today, but thanks to Jamie because he made it happen for us to be able to broadcast here and hang out here the last couple of days here at the Cove. We're going to be traveling tomorrow. We'll be on tomorrow morning. We'll do a show tomorrow morning from our Airbnb. We'll do a quick show, and we'll have some fun. But outside of that, I appreciate all of you out there, those of you that made a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show, and you can make a Bitcoin donation or Ethereum donation. We appreciate it as always. If you send in a super chat, thank you. If you hit the like button, thank you. If you visit our amazing, absolutely amazing sponsors like RMC who make it happen for us, and that's the reason why we're here, because of people like, Ray and Mike at RMC Contractors and Custom Drywall. So we thank Ray and Mike and all the great people there at RMC for helping us get on the road and do this. And by the way, RMC is helping us get on the road for Los Angeles, for Buffalo, for Indianapolis. The only problem with Indianapolis is I have no concerts there. Well, Buffalo either. But LA, at least we got some shows there to kind of offset. I hope it gets better. I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, but hey, man, listen, as always, we'll be here for you. We'll be fighting through the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever, the frustrating. It's all there. We all felt all kinds of emotions, and it absolutely sucks. But we'll get through it. We'll get through it. One day, man, one day it'll be our time. I don't know when it is, but I hope it's soon. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Be safe out there. We'll see you same time, same place, same bat channel.
You've been listening to our Dolphins post-game show with Big O. The broadcast is brought to you by Welton Rayom, Acura of Pembroke Pines, Hialeah Park Casino, RM Contractors, Toyota of Hollywood, Haineswear, Sloman's Home Security, BigCheeseMiami.com, EJD Construction. The broadcast is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley. Thank you for supporting the platform and our fantastic sponsors. Go Fins!